Today is going to be focused on mobilizing the mortgage experience, helping you win more business with home buyers, and increasing realtor referrals in the same process at Mortgage Coach. My name is Dave Savage. I'm the CEO and founder of Mortgage Coach. You are all part of the Mortgage Coach team. It's great to have you as in our organization and on our team. I urge you to connect with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and again, connect with me personally also. Today in the marketplace, I interview top loan officers for our Mortgage Coach calls all the time, and I'm looking for what do we need to do to be successful in the marketplace. And it's obviously a home buyer market, and to be ultra successful, you need to have inspired conversations with home buyers and realtors. And that sounds like a simple thing, but to actually be inspired when you talk to the home buyer, to do that with realtors, you got to be excited. You really got to feel like I've got something unique, something valuable in the way that I do business. Yeah, we close business on time. Yes, we have competitive rates, but you want to be passionate about having something special. And I'm going to share something special that everybody has, and that's mobile. This is actually a picture that Joe Patur, who I know has presented to you and done some training multiple times. Joe took this a few weeks ago. He was on a Southwest Airlines flight, and Keller Williams was doing a full-page ad. To me, this is a big wake-up call for our industry. When Keller Williams invested money to build an app, has a $50,000 contest, and they're advertising it in airline magazines, we need to be mobile leaders, and we're going to show you how Mortgage Coach helps you do that. I mean, we live in a world now where everything is multi-screen. We're shopping with multiple screens, watching TV with an iPad in our hand. We got an iPad and an iPhone and an Android device. Someone in the family does. And realtors have completely gone mobile. Zillow has pushed them there. Most home buyers, many home buyers, have Zillow, Trulia, Redfin. They have the MLS in their back pocket, and realtors are communicating with smartphones. Home buyers are taking pictures of homes. They're reading news this way. So it's important that we as mortgage professionals can have that inspired conversation with a realtor around how we have a mobile strategy. So if you're on this call or you're listening to the recording of the call and you have not downloaded the Mortgage Coach app yet, please download the app. We have both an Android version of the app, an iPhone version of the app, an iPad version. Just go to your mobile store, put in Mortgage Coach. It's free. It's a download. And we're going to walk through that experience of how to use that with realtors to get more referrals. So let's get into exactly how. I'm going to bring Teddy in within a couple minutes, and he's going to get into the product. He's going to teach you how to create realtor experiences. But before he does that, I want to talk about how you can do it with your everyday business with borrowers. Right now, every borrower gets one of these. And this is not unique. Every loan officer has to deliver this. It doesn't help convert more sales. It doesn't help the realtor convert more buyers. And let's face it, realtors have a worse conversion rate than mortgage professionals. The industry average is 1 out of every 7 home buyers realtor works with, talks to, actually does a transaction with them. So we as mortgage professionals want to help them get better conversion rates. The fee worksheet, it doesn't help you convert. It doesn't help the realtor convert. Old school, yellow pad of paper to quote rates, doesn't help win more business for realtors. So at Mortgage Coach, you all have edge. Many of these are delivered in person, they're printed, or you email it to a client. And it's got this link. Well, part of the strategy that I'm going to talk to you about is when you get that referral from a realtor, position it with the home buyer that we're going to put this together. As a service to you, I'm going to loop your realtor in so they know what's been presented to you, whether it's mortgage options based on different purchase prices, based off of your pre-qual. Get their permission to loop the realtor in, and home buyers like it. If they click on this from their desktop, they get the desktop experience. If they click on it from an iPad, they get the iPad experience. If they click on it from an iPhone, they're getting simple mortgage options that you presented, and they're getting them graphically presented. Home buyers want this. If you talk to a home buyer, do you want the fee worksheet or do you want the mortgage experience? They want the mortgage experience. So again, part of the realtor training here is make sure you loop the realtor in. Busy realtors, successful realtors will tell you that their biggest challenge is just time management, organization. So not having to play phone tag with you, to know what was presented, to be able to click on that link and boom, the realtor can see what you presented, the mortgage options that you presented. If they change while they're out at the property, they change real time. Realtors love this. So again, just to make sure everybody's clear on this simple play as we kick off realtor strategies, leveraging mobile, send the email to the home buyer, CC the realtor, regardless of where they click, they get a great experience. This is validation. I get feedback from the market all the time. I've got Tim's permission to share this, where realtors are saying amazing things, how much they love it. This particular realtor in Iowa was not a customer of Tim's. This was a realtor he was courting. He had a buyer. He put him in the loop. The realtor responded how much they appreciated it and loved it. He got a meeting. Within 2 weeks, he was getting referrals from this realtor. So it's part of the realtor strategy. And everybody on this call, you all have edge. So we're going to walk you through. We're going to show you how to do it. One intention as we kick off the details of this training is it's important that you don't wait 2 days or 3 days from the time that we do this training to create a TCA, also known as total cost analysis. It's important that create one today, create 5 over the next 5 days, and once you get to about somewhere between 10 and 20, you know how to do it, you're comfortable doing it, you've gotten feedback from a customer that was positive, you don't want to not do this. So if you're serious about creating a success habit around providing your clients with a mortgage coach total cost analysis, do not wait. 5 TCAs, at least 5 TCAs over the next 5 days is the goal that Teddy and I are driving towards. So Teddy, I am going to hand it off to you and have you get into Edge and walk them through how to create these amazing mobile experiences.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks a lot. That was great content. So let's just go over and take over the screen here.
I can see your screen, Teddy.
Perfect. And so there's many of you on the phone today who have not logged in yet. So just a quick reminder, it's edge.mortgagecoach.com. Want to make sure that you go ahead and bookmark that. As Dave was saying, we want to make sure that we create 5 TCAs within the next 5 days. So get in there, log in. All of you should have your username and password. If you have not, we will be sending username and password out at the end of this call. Let's get right into the product. So today we're going to be covering mobile strategies. At the same time as we cover mobile strategies, I'm going to take you through the experience as you're building inside of Edge and all the way through sending that link out through the client and showing the mobile experience. As you all know by now, for those of you who joined the call last week, once you get into the system, you would be reaching new client, creating that presentation for that client. I'm going to be using a purchase power presentation. I'm going to walk you through the wizard just as we did last week. Somewhat of a recap of what we covered last week and moving on to the next stages and steps. Anything highlighted in red, just as a reminder, you want to make sure it's filled in. Helps you complete the presentation. If you needed to move forward and not fill in the red sections, that's completely okay as well. We want to get you to the point as you're creating those 5 presentations and completing each presentation that you create for a client within a 5-minute period. So as we go through the wizard here, first name, you can use Sally Smith, any client that you're working with, Joseph Rodriguez, anyone of that sort for your client goals and needs. We are using this as a purchase presentation. It could also be used for refi, rent versus own, maybe just simply marketing ideas as well. As I move through the wizard, now I'm on the assumptions. I'm going off the purchase price of a $330 purchase value. I'm also building a purchase presentation here. So I'll point out some few factors and strategies that not only can use with your clients, but your realtor partners as well. When I get into the affordability section, and you look at these questions, keep in mind these are questions that you're asking your clients on a daily basis. So this knowledge is very powerful. You'll notice there's nothing here highlighted in red. If you simply need to move forward, you can do so. Once I move on to products, we talked about products last week. I'll recap and retouch on the products again. There are many questions that came into the chat box in regards to products. So when you get to the products, you want to think about loan scenarios that you present to your clients daily, weekly, monthly. Think about the last 5 loans you funded. Was it FHA? Was it conventional? What is a simple 30-year fix? Maybe you did one client with a 30-year fix and another with 30-year fix with no points. Maybe it was a 5-1 ARM. As I mentioned these products, we have built these products in the system for you. So you can go through the list of products we have in here and choose the product that you're looking for. As you choose these products, these numbers here will auto-populate for you. The only 2 things you have to do in this area here is name your product. I'm using this as a purchase power presentation, so I'm just calling this 300K at a 5% offer. And I simply put in my interest rate. Once I move forward, I get to closing cost. Closing cost is going to itemize your fees that's involved with the loan. I get into my closing cost detail. I choose my state. I choose the fee template that I'm looking for. Another scenario that we put together is we listed all your fees here. So you just go down the list, find the fee you're looking for, click on that fee, and everything here populates for you. So keep in mind when you're logging in and we're teaching you how to create these presentations within 5 minutes, you're logging into a turnkey system. You have your products built. You have your fee templates built. So your products are the loan scenarios that you're going to be presenting to your clients. Your fee templates are going to be able to show your clients itemization of those fees. If you're looking for the title and escrow fees, you simply go into Read Title, put the information in that you're looking for here. It simply gives you your fees and move it right on over to Edge. You can customize those fees inside of your fee template, and now it's all set. The next question that was asked quite a bit is lender credit. Simply click Add Fee, come to your drop down here, find the contribution button, and type in your lender credit. So maybe I had a credit of, say, 500. Type in 500. It's already shown letter credit, and it automatically subtracts that rather than adding it. So that is also built in the system for you as well. Once I have this complete, I click Apply to Loan, and now my fees are all automatically populated for you. So it's just that simple. As I move forward, now I'm at the monthly cost. Insurance, taxes, monthly MI. These rates are already put in there for you as well by clicking your products. So it's automatically just populating the numbers for you. I simply just could do this in a couple of seconds. As I move forward and want to add on another product, I continue to do so. I can continue to add on up to 4 products. So whether it's you're showing your client they only got qualified for possibly maybe an FHA. Why not show them an FHA on the second product and maybe possibly how to pay their home off within 20 years versus writing out the full 30-year term? Why not show them possibly, hey, I know you got qualified for FHA, I completely understand that, but here's why you're making the decision to move forward today. By showing them an FHA that if the rates go up, this possibly what could happen. So these are different strategies in the products, loan scenarios that you present to your clients on a daily basis. Once you're completed with your products, you move over to the analysis page. The analysis page is basically your summary before you sent out the presentation to your client. We are going to get into the mobile strategy soon, but in order to present that mobile strategy and give your clients the mobile experience, being able to view their loan options, you want to summarize everything up. So just to recap what we covered last week, and these were other questions that came into the chat box as well, so I just want to cover that and show just a brief recap. You have appreciation rate set here. The short-term analysis, that is set to months, and the long-term analysis is set to years. One question, or many questions that came in, the short-term analysis, okay, it's a net savings. So this also includes the cost of that loan. So you're recouping that cost of the loan, and we have it set here to 60 months. So over 5 years, they've recouped that cost. Long-term interest in MI. And yes, you can change it to total net worth if you wish, or total principal paid. And the period we have set here is 15 years. So you can make those changes based off the strategy on what you're showing your client, the benefit of showing your client those loan options. You're enabling them to make an informed decision. It's another avenue just to break down and be able to get that client's commitment at a much quicker pace. Once we move on here, we get into contact. The street address and city. If you put this information in this page here, it will appear on the presentation. If you left it blank, it's completely okay. Once we move on to presentation, another area of questions that came through is, yes, you want to make sure the total cost analysis, that channel is highlighted. If for some reason I wanted to take out this offer, which is the third loan scenario that I built, of 330, all I simply have to do is uncheck this box. Keep in mind, this loan scenario there, it's going to be saved in the system for you in case you have to come back to it later. Maybe you want to re-add it into the product you're sending your client, make a few changes. But by unchecking that box, it'll not show in the presentation. So we'll give a demonstration of that as well. But I'm trying to answer all the questions that came in last week and giving you a simple recap. At the same time, I'm going to show you the mobile experience. So I go right back into the presentation, get to the preview page. A few more things to point out. Right, getting into this mobile experience here is, yes, you want to email this link. You can print these presentations off just as well. Notify me when this report's viewed. The important part about emailing the link, once I click this generate link here, for the fact that I'm just going to move this box to the side, is once you email this link to the client, the reason why you want this channel email link checked off and to be notified is you're notified every time that presentation is viewed. And it's the system's telling you how long your client viewed that presentation. It's giving you the opportunity right then and there to follow up with that client. That's when the questions are asked the most, when the clients are viewing the loan options you sent them. Today we send it in a long detailed email, PDF format, completely okay. But we're not alerted when that's happening. So this is a great avenue to follow because you're able to follow up with your clients immediately. Once I click on Edge Live here, this is the presentation that you're actually sending out to your client. You highlighted that link, you copy it, you paste it into an email. So we're going to get into that mobile experience now. This is the presentation I sent them that I'm viewing from my desktop. The same desktop your clients can be viewing from their desktop at work or at home. But what about the clients who are extremely busy and on the road and on the go? Well, with the mobile experience, you can reach them anywhere, anytime. So as I do so, I'm going to bring up my iPad and show this mobile experience. Just bear with me one quick second here as we bring up the iPad. All right, here we go. So your client's viewing this from the iPad, and they want to see this mobile experience. I can simply walk them through this mobile experience here and show them their different loan options. If I was to make any highlights or changes, they will be able to see those highlights and changes on their iPad. Maybe your client's extremely busy and travels quite often through the airports, through the hotels. It's very important for your client to get these loan options settled and make an informed decision. So it may be just something over dinner that he's discussing with his wife. But more importantly, you're reaching your clients where they're most comfortable. They're able to view it at their time. You don't necessarily have to wait for them to get home at work at 8 o'clock at night. Or you're not having to wait to reach them at 8 o'clock at night when you're reaching them where they're most comfortable. if I needed to go back in and maybe change this rate, so I have highlighted here 300,000, 5% down at 4.5 rate. Maybe I needed to change that. So I simply go back into my Edge system. I'm in the product section that I offer, and I change that to, let's say, 4.35. I arrow through. My data is now saved. I simply go back into my analysis. I'm going to see that rate change at 4.35. More importantly, your client's going to see it on their end because it's instant and it's live. It allows you to make that commitment factor and get that commitment factor much sooner. It'll avoid your clients having to think or wait. If you can show them what they're looking for immediately, then you can make that happen for them. You can make that happen for them instantly to where now you're shortening your sales cycle. Maybe they said, hey, we're going with this 300,000. We've seen a house at 315K. We're not going to be looking anything at 330. So you can simply go back into Edge, just as I pointed out earlier, and you can remove that product just by unchecking that box. Once again, I click on the arrow to save my data. I go back in, and you're going to see that product disappear. That product's going to disappear for them instantly. Now you're talking about 2 offers. And we're just talking about the client here. What about your realtor resources? What about the realtors who are taking your clients out over the weekend looking at some homes? You can simply ask your client, can you do me a favor and send this to the realtor you're working with? I have not had the opportunity to meet them just yet. They can send this to the realtors. You can keep your realtors in the know with consistency. And they're able to view those loan options that you're sending your clients. That builds referral business. When realtors see these presentations, we have not heard of a realtor saying, wow, yeah, I don't think my clients want to see anything like this. Realtors are asking for these presentations. Home buyers are asking for these presentations. And most importantly, you're reaching them right from the iPad or the mobile experience. What we're going to do here is I'm going to bring in one of our success coaches, Joey, and he's going to play the part of the client, and I'm going to play the part as the LO. But we're going to show you the mobile experience. So let's see, right, as we get this going here. All right. And Joey, you are unmuted now. Can you hear me there?
Hopefully, can you hear me?
Yes.
I see you. Okay, perfect.
Okay, so I've brought up Joey's iPhone. And just as we do today, this is the simple email that I sent out to Joey, as if he were my client. These are emails we're sending out to clients today. So Joey receives the email. He opens it up. He's been waiting for this information. Our clients are looking at this information, right, or looking for this information on a continuous basis. Simply sent out the email. He clicked on the link, and he downloads the app. Once the app is being downloaded, it's going to take him directly to the presentation that I sent him. I can narrate that presentation through audio if I wish, but once again, I'm setting his loan options where he's most comfortable and able to view them. It might be a situation to where Joey is the only rapport I have. I have not even had the opportunity to meet his wife or build rapport with his wife yet. So once Joey receives these loan options, he's able to view it. He can simply share this with his wife. He can simply share this with his wife and view each option on his own personal time, where he's most comfortable. So once this goes in, I'm just simply using the link here as G Mason, okay, but your client, by clicking on that link, your presentation is automatically going to be reviewed. It's going to appear for your clients. So let's see if we can just minimize this here. All right, perfect. So here are the loan options. It's the same loan options that I sent that they can still view from their desktop. They can view from the iPad. If I came in and I need to make any changes, I'm making those highlight changes. It's that simple. Maybe I want to review monthly payments. And under those monthly payments and those savings, each quadrant is broken down into 4 sections. So it has a more information button. And it simply breaks everything down in a format that's easily understood. Maybe they're just concerned about rate. So now I'm just talking rate and total monthly PI/TI. So as I'm walking through my client or reviewing and narrating with my client, they're viewing these options. Now, Joey, do you have any questions in regards to the loan options I sent you?
Yeah. What if, for example, I was driving down the street and I saw an additional listing which was a little above my budget. I was right around $345,000. Can you show me what a payment would look like for a loan amount of $345,000? I know you've already shown me 2 products. I have 315, but we really like the location. I know it's above our budget, but I'd like to see what that looks like. Can you do that, or can you send me some information?
Absolutely. We can take care of that now if you have a few minutes. Just let me get into my system, and we can show you that $345,000 offer. We're still going 5% down. That's what you still feel comfortable with?
Yes.
Great. So now back to being a loan originator, I went right back into my Edge system. I changed the purchase price to $345,000. I arrow through. My data is now saved. Keep in mind, I'm going to make sure that Joey's able to see this presentation. So I'm going to check this box, make sure that he's able to see that presentation. I need to change my offer here to $345,000.
And then, Teddy, when you do that, the iPhone in the background, that way they can see it as well. When
I'm going to pull that up as well.
Sure.
Okay. So now I've checked that, making sure all the dots and I's are checked and dotted. I go right back into my system here. Now in my desktop, I can see that $345,000. If I go right back into my iPad, the client's viewing it right from their iPhone. The client touches on the summary section. Now that client's going to be able to see that offer at $345,000. Let's enlarge that there. Okay, we are using the rate at 4.5% with that payment of $23.66. If you need to see payment breakdown, anything in the summary section, I can, or the client can click on the More Info button. That's going to make those changes to see those payment breakdowns. Now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Client, I showed you this offer at $345,000. You said it was a little bit out of your budget. We can get you qualified. Are you prepared to move forward? They may have questions for the fact that, okay, great. You know what? I think we can settle with that. What about closing costs? What are my closing costs? If your client can click on the closing costs, if you're viewing it with them and clicked on closing costs, it's going to change the screens for them automatically. So the closing costs now are listed. They can see everything you're offering them. Everything's out in the open. How about the clients who just they're dieharders to the third-party advisors, their uncle, the grandpa, the coworkers? They can share this with them as well. Everyone they're asking advice for. But everyone they're asking advice for, you're breaking this down for them, and they're getting back to being able to make that informed decision. Now, Joey, aside from the closing cost, right, and the payment breakdowns, or anything else I can show you here?
No, I think you've done a great job. I appreciate that. That gives me everything that I need to know.
Perfect. Great. So I did want to point out to you that not only can we show you just monthly payment savings, the summary section, but their savings over 60 months. I can take those steps further if I needed to. and point those savings out as needed. Sometimes you put yourself over the edge to get that deal and close the deal. Savings over 60 months. Is anyone else going that length to show that? Maybe it's just the principal paid over 15 years. What I'm doing here, folks, is I'm reaching my clients, and I'm reaching them from the mobile experience. Next time you're out at dinner, look around the room. Everyone's on their mobile phones. They may be on their mobile phone looking at your presentation next because you're using this. So what I like to do right now is let's pull up. I want everybody to download the app, and I want everybody to be able to view this right from their mobile phone as well. So what we want to do here, if you have an iPhone, go into your app store, type in Mortgage Coach. Let's get the app downloaded. If you have a Droid, go to your Google store and type in Mortgage Coach. Let's get this app going. As you're doing that, I'm going to share a few success stories here. And for those of you who are on your phone listening on the call, you can download the app after the fact. But basically, what you're doing is giving loan options, payments. So you're simply breaking down the mobile experience for them. As you're breaking down the mobile experience, look at your branding here. They can simply tap on your name, tap on your phone number, tap on your email to get in contact with you. Summary section, just as we showed. Payment breakdown. We are talking about that with Joey as well. Interest in MI paid over 15 years. You can change those years to 20 or 30 years if you wish. And once again, your branding, your contact information. What we sent out today on a GFE, on an Excel spreadsheet, on a fees worksheet, our branding's not necessarily there. When your clients are sharing your information with their third party or their spouse, they're just sharing a piece of information. Now they're sharing your branding and the presentation. It's a professionally laid out format that they can share with anybody, and you feel comfortable to build referral business off of this. You feel comfortable to ask for referral business off this. More comfortable to say, if you're only working with the client, please send this to your realtor. I like for them to see the loan options I provided you. The feedback we get from realtors across the country is, I need this information. My home buyers are asking for this information. I like to send this information out to all the clients I work with. So by now we should have the app downloaded. I'll give it a few more seconds. And here's just a simple presentation that you can present to your clients or partners for your realtors. This is an open house presentation. We'll share a little bit of this information as well. I just want to make sure that everybody had time to download that app. Once again, for the App Store or the iPhone, go to the App Store. For the Android, go to the Google Store. Get that app downloaded. I'd like everybody to type in GMason. In the same presentation Joey and I were viewing, you're going to be able to view that presentation as well. I like to go right back into that live presentation, make a few changes so we can interact. You can see exactly the interaction that your customers would receive.
Hey, Teddy.
Yes.
Hey, I'd like to kind of just wrap a couple thoughts up. You, Joey, did a great job of walking through this. Hopefully it's clear to everyone, you know, the experience that they're showing you how to do would not just be a rate quote, would be a better experience. And I think the point that I hope connects with everybody is it would improve your conversion rates, it would improve your referrals. Now every time you're giving this to a client, it can be shared. Everybody involved in making that home buying decision, husband, wife, the father-in-law who's helping with the down payment, the buddy at work who is a real estate expert, the realtor, they all get to see this mortgage advice, and that's helpful. And again, I said it earlier on, but I want to say it again because I think it bears repeating. You know, you're helping the realtor get a better conversion rate. So when they give you a referral, they're getting a gift back. They're not just getting a shout-out rate quote. They're getting mortgage options delivered in a way that can be viewed regardless of where they're at. If they're out in the field, they can be viewed on their mobile devices. If they're out looking at homes, they can be viewed. If they're in an open home, they can be viewed. So part of this, in order for this to work for you, you need to, again, follow up, create 5 of these experiences over the next 5 days, get to 20 as fast as you can so you make this a habit, and you need to be socializing this with realtors. So you have to have it on your app, and when you're meeting with realtors, don't show them the technology for the sake of technology. I guess it's a good tee up for where you're going right now, Teddy, in terms of showing success stories, but story sell. You know, when you show it to the realtor, let me show you how I helped create urgency for this first-time home buyer, and you're showing and telling a story with the app. Let me show you how we, you know, whatever the financial strategies that are helping you in your market that are very local and very meaningful, story sell, but you're showing and telling the story so that the realtors understand. They give you a referral, they're getting more than a rate quote, they're getting a mortgage experience, it's more efficient, it's more effective, and it helps get them better borrower conversion rate, better home buyer conversion rate. So I wanted to share that. Continue. I know you've got some more to share and a few stories to share.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dave. So by now, everybody should have downloaded the app. Type in G Mason, and this presentation should be up on your mobile phone. A few changes, or I should say highlights, I want to make here. So just simply want to highlight a few sections so you can all see on the mobile experience. Maybe it's just rate and payment that I'm highlighting, because I can highlight this information before I send off to the client. When the client opens up their presentation right from their mobile phone, they're seeing these exact highlights. I can simply clear the screen and clear all my highlights, clear all. They're going to see that same mobile experience. Oh, sorry about that. My screen just locked up on me. Okay. All right, here we go. So we can make these different changes as needed. Like we showed, we removed that 330 offer earlier, and now we came back and added that 345. Maybe it was the fact that for some reason we had to add MI in there. We had to add MI. We had to change taxes and insurance. Anything of that sort, purchase price, anything we ever need to change, we simply go right back into our Edge product. You go into the loan scenario product that we built and looking for, and we can make those instant changes. Maybe that price has now become $347. So we can make that simple change. Now we're at $347. Make my offer change there at $347. I simply move forward. For some reason, possibly, we add in 1 point. Okay? Maybe by adding in 1 point, we change that rate back down to 4.35. And I'm just making these simple changes just to give you guys ideas of how simple and easy this is. If you're viewing this from your mobile experience, you should start to see these changes. For myself, as an originator, if I'm sitting behind my desk and I need to see these changes, I just go back into Edge Live and see these changes happen for my client. Now they're fully aware of what I'm explaining to them. If they had any more questions, more info as far as payment breakdown, closing cost, it's all listed in there for them. And they're going to see these changes through their screen. So this is the client experience. We built the app for consumer base first. Home buyers are consistently asking for mortgage advice. And what are the best practices? What are the best options? You're showing this in a total cost analysis for them. Here's a closing cost. Once again, showing it the live way, full experience. Now, Joe, are you still on the call here?
Yes.
Hey,
Perfect.
real quick. Oh, hey, real quick. A couple questions came in. Bev wanted to know if this could. Beverly wanted to know if this could link from the website, and also asked about a QR code. If you could answer that, and then I have another question from Matthew.
Okay. So, can you repeat that one more time? The QR code.
Can this link to the website, and can you add a QR code?
Can you answer the QR code, Dave?
Oh, sure. So No, we do not accommodate a QR code. There are some loan officers that have done that, but that is typically we don't do that. In terms of linking it, I mean, these experiences are links, so they can be added to a website. Lots of loan officers do that. In terms of more advanced strategies on that, we could do a training on that next time. But
Correct.
Beverly, I wanted to make sure your question got answered. And then Matthew, is there a way to create a presentation comparing buy now versus waiting by a projected rate and home price as we get into the summer? So I don't know if you're going to get into that, but I wanted to make sure those questions that came in were answered. And if anybody else has a question, I will be moderating, and I'll bring them to you, Teddy, as they come up.
Excellent, excellent. So Beverly, to answer your question as far as the link goes, you can post this link onto a website. Yes, you can. They can simply click the share button and allow them to paste it into Facebook, Twitter, certain areas that they market in, they can paste that link in there. And you can put a marketing presentations together for your clients just for viewing purposes. And then once you reach those clients, you can build a personalized presentation for each client you work with. Inside the presentation that you send each client as well can also be shared. Many originators out there would like for their clients to have a printed version of this. So if they simply click on the print button here, they can simply print that out as well. This way you're reaching your client every way. They have a printed version. Maybe you meet with them face to face and they leave with this. You email them this live link. So now if you need to make changes, add anything to it, they can see the live changes. And once again, they can view this right from their mobile phone. So hopefully that answered that questions there. The next question we had was a buy now, buy later. That was correct, Dave, right? Here's what we have. I believe there's a buy
that is
now,
correct.
buy later. Okay, buy now, buy later right here. Let's click on that and let's just kind of go through this really quickly as well. Okay, what we're simply doing here is an FHA versus conventional. You can keep it both FHA, you can keep it both conventional. Any way you want to build it, you can build it that way. But yes, you can put a buy now, buy later together, especially with the summer coming up. You want to get all those folks off the fence and moving forward. As I'm moving through the wizard here, yes.
A couple more quick questions, and I want to answer them quickly just to, one, encourage them to keep it going. So one question was, and this was from Mary Ellen, how can we get our branding on the presentation, picture and contact information, and how do we get the information also for the branding? And that may be part of your teaching, so if you want to get to that later, I just want to make sure that that does get answered for Mary Ellen. And then a quick question for Frank was, can we send them our Apply Now link? So I'm going to answer that real quick for Frank. Two things. One, that could be in your email. That's part of the framing of the Edge experience. And yes, there are a number of places that you can add custom content to the link, or excuse me, to the presentation. And Teddy, I don't know if you're going to get into that, but I wanted to reward Frank with getting that question in. And folks, keep the questions coming. They're great, and we'll keep answering them.
Perfect,
Go ahead.
perfect. So just back to the buy now, buy later, and then I'll answer the personal branding after we touch on this base here. So we're just presenting FHA 30-year fix. You notice this rate is at 4.35. Basically what I'm telling my client is this is what I can do for you today. If I went into conventional, okay, I'm at 4.5. That would be my second product I'm showing here. 30-year mortgage, 4.5. I can simply change this, right? I'm presented a 4.35. I can change this, and I'm talking about the FHA, and I can change this now maybe to, let's just say, project it out to 5.25. This is the buy later scenario. As I move forward and I get right into showing this presentation, I can simply point out to my client why today, buying today, purchasing today is so key, because we cannot predict the change of rates. We cannot predict the market. But we can give somewhat of a synopsis, as you mentioned, a projected rate out in the future. Make sure I have that highlighted there. Okay, and we show this presentation here. So just a quick run through on how we got to this point of buy now, buy later. I presented right in the beginning an FHA 30-year fixed at 4.35. I also presented a conventional 5% down at 4.5. If my client decides to wait, and maybe it's 30 days, maybe it's 90 days, maybe like we're just thinking and we're kind of shopping around, we'll continue to do so. But if you do take your chances and the market changes, I just put a rate in there at 5.25. Nobody knows what the rates are going to do, but here are your options. And this is why we want to move forward and get this purchase going. Get your information submitted to underwriting. What I can simply point out here, okay, it's going to run them roughly around $75 extra on a monthly basis. If we add that up, times 12, times 60 months, that number becomes much larger. That's a buy now, buy later presentation to show your folks. In your Edge system, going right back into the Edge system, you're going to have roughly maybe 7 to 9 presentations. So every time somebody logs in, the buy now, buy later presentation, the purchase power presentation, George Mason mortgage, rent versus own, the cost of waiting. These strategies and scenarios are already built in the system for you. So you can open these strategies up. You can print them out. You can copy them, make them your own, and send them off to your clients. So these strategies we've already implemented in the system for you. So feel free to use them. It's really great strategies. Get these clients off the fence and moving right along. Okay, now let's talk about the branding. So under settings here, I click on settings. This is all your information. So any information that is in here is going to be listed in an Edge presentation. So if you look at the information I have listed here, and I'm going to open up that Edge presentation here in a second, and I go to images, there's my headshot, which would be your headshot, and the George Mason logo. Looks a little fuzzy here, but it's just based off sizing. When you get into the presentation itself, it's nice and clean. And all your information is listed in there. So that personal branding is all in the system under settings. And your branding is everywhere that you send this out to your clients for. So just once again, under settings is your image, contact info, everything that's in there goes out as your personal branding to your clients. You had another question there, Dave?
There was a question around adding picture and branding. I did let her know that if we didn't answer it now, we would forward a video afterwards on that. But okay. I don't know that you've answered that, but I'll let you decide how much more content specific around mobilizing the mortgage experience and realtor referrals. Decide whether you want to get into that now or later.
Okay, perfect. So
and keep the questions coming, everybody. If you have more, we want to make sure you get your questions answered. So don't hesitate to ask. They're all great questions.
So another presentation I like to show, and this would, once again, talking about the mobile experience and sending this information out now to your realtors. We talked about what we can do for your clients, purchase power analysis, just their simple and basic loan options that you would present to them on a daily basis. Same mobile experience. You're sending them that email that we showed earlier. They click on that link. It'll prompt them to download the app. Once the app is downloaded, your presentation will appear. Okay. Now you can do the other, or flip the coin and go to the other side. Now let's talk about the realtors. You can do the same experience with them or have the same experience with them. So I just put an open house presentation together here. Once again, you just simply go through the wizard. To get to this point, for your clients that you're creating those personalized presentations for, you'd click on New Client. To complete an open house presentation for your realtors, you would click on New Partner. This section would open up. Once again, just like going through the wizard, you fill out the highlight sections and you simply move through these features here. Fill out the information that's needed. get to the complete of your presentation, and we can preview that open house presentation here.
Hey, Teddy, I want to jump in because Kelly May had a good question around open house flyers. And while Teddy just gave a nice overview of the template, it's 5 steps to creating it. You know, they're designed to wrap particular financial strategies around properties. So you're able to brand the property, you're able to add the agent's co-branding picture. I think it's important to understand we really design these to be great online. So there's a lot of different types of flyers and ways that loan officers can create content and information to help move properties. What makes ours very special and unique is that they're very centric around real estate finance strategies, around a listing with co-branding, and to be viewed online. Yes, they can be printed, so you can print them, but what makes them very unique and special is that. And then another really great use case, I think that speaks to your question, Kelly, and if I didn't answer it well enough, let me know, is that you get to know when the realtor or when people are looking at them. So they're great approach tools. So if you've got some realtors that you're targeting, we made them so that you can create them in 5 minutes or less. So they're really quick to create on the spec, where there's this realtor, you're trying to win their business, you know there's a listing that's been on the market, it hasn't been selling, you've got some financial strategies that you think will help move the property. 5 minutes on the spec, you create it, and now you know, and when you forward it to the agent, you know whether they looked at it or not. So you could create, you know, I think Teddy mentioned this, 5 or 10, the 2 or 3 realtors that opened it, now you call them, you know they opened it, it's not a cold call, it's a warm call where you've developed value. So these are great for selling properties, and they're also great to get and open conversations with realtors and to create proactive value with realtors. So Kelly, I hope that answers your question to your satisfaction. If not, keep the questions coming. And by the way, we're getting flooded with questions. Teddy, continue, and I'll try to bring some of these back into fold.
Perfect. Thank you. So this here is an open house presentation. I use this and put this together just as a marketing piece. For those who want to use it as a marketing piece, like Dave was saying, this is a live presentation. Of course, you can print by using the print button, just as you can print the total cost analysis. Ideally, when you start creating these presentations, and you're going to, by now, everyone should have 5 presentations completed. You should be working by the end of next week on your 10th presentation, whether it's open house or total cost analysis for your clients. The key is getting to 20 as you learn the system inside out. Dave and I both mentioned on creating these presentations within a 5-minute period. That is the goal. You can literally complete this presentation within that period. But for those who like to print out, you can simply print these out. But think about when you email this presentation to your client. Think about sending this to your realtor. How many of your realtors are in the office all day? They're out and about. They're hunting down business just like you. How many times have you tried to sit down with the realtor and they're just extremely busy? So once again, you're reaching them right through the mobile experience. I'm going to pull up my iPad on this presentation here just to show you what this would look like from the iPad side of it.
Hey, by the way,
Okay.
Teddy, a couple other questions. Hammy just asked, where within Edge can I add the realtor's email so they receive the same alerts I do? So let's make sure we get to that. Okay. And then also, Karen had asked, when we are increasing the price of the home, do we change the taxes and insurance, or do they automatically adjust for us? And that's the second time that question's been asked in different ways. So I do by different people, so we may want to nail that one too.
All right, and just bear with me here 1 second.
So fantastic questions, everybody. This was what makes these types of interactions and these types of lessons great. So thank you for everybody that's participating and asking questions, because it's important to us that you take this hour that you spent with us and you turn it into a success habit. So I know I've repeated it, but I do want to repeat, the way that you turn this into a success habit is take action today. Literally create one of these reports today. If you run into a barrier, I mean, the first experience is always the most difficult. Go to our website. There's a little tab on the left side, click support. Get an experience created today. Get to 5 as quickly as you can, and then take it to 20, and this habit will be created. Teddy, did you work that out yet?
Yes, I got it all going. So when you're inside of Edge, to answer the question actually about how can the realtor receive the link as well, right? Or how can the realtor receive an email alert that their presentation is being viewed? That was a question, correct?
That is a question.
Perfect. So under the contact info, as you're building this presentation for the realtor, you're simply going to put in their email information, all their contact information actually. But by putting their email information in, when you get to the last page of the presentation on preview, send Edge View alert to partner, you can simply click that box. So every time that presentation goes out, generate that link. You're going to highlight this link, right? Copy and paste it just like you would every other link. Not only are you being alerted through email, but so is your realtor as well. So as this presentation is being viewed, your realtor's actually being alerted as well. So they have the same idea and the same information you get as far as the alerts go. They know when these clients are looking at it. Just as I have it up on my desktop, here's the view from the iPad. Once again, you can make these simple changes. I simply built this as if I was trying to maybe market to a home builder, or maybe I'm already working with a home builder, as some of you do. So it can go out to realtors, and you can give different finance options, or for those who work with home builders, you can simply put a presentation together like this. You can list the features of the property, but your co-branding is in here with your realtor. When your realtor sees the value out of this presentation, they're not going to necessarily say, hey, let's continue to print 200 flyers out, which you can do so anyways. They're going to say, let's market this out to the mass book of business, my prospects that I want to sell this home to. And they can use this to email out to their prospects. They can share this as well. So they'll have access to the link, and they can paste this link into their web page, anywhere they market to. Once again, your co-branding is right on the same presentation as this is for your realtor as well. So now you're doing the favor of each other and marketing out, moving some homes with your realtor or home builder. One way to see this presentation, now they're viewing these finance options based off each model home that we have listed here. Once again, I just put maybe 3 model homes here. I use Viewpoint, Spring Haven, and Ellington. It can just simply be a 15-year fix, a 20-year fix, and a 30-year fix. A 5-1 arm, the loan options you're most comfortable with. So they can view those presentations just as they see them. Okay, and the other question you had there, Dave?
I think you got them. And again, if anybody, because I'm trying to listen, participate, I'm answering some questions as we go. If you have a question that's a burning question, we have not answered it, it's going to hold you up from creating one of these experiences, please throw it in there as we get into the wrap-up mode of this call. And again, remember everybody, the way you do it is you just create one of these experiences today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Let's face it, 3 days from now, you're going to barely remember this call. So if you don't take action today and tomorrow, you're going to lose momentum, you're going to lose traction. Go ahead, and we've got about a minute, and if any questions pop in. Oh, the taxes and insurance question is not answered. Karen, thanks for speaking up. So please answer, how to put in that tax and insurance information in a way that it doesn't change as the price changes.
Okay, so we're in the product section here, the loan scenario you're presenting to them. And here you have your closing cost detail. You can simply have it listed in here as you wish. Set up by percentages there if that's the way you're choosing to do it. Once that is all set, you click Apply to Loan. For the monthly cost, taxes and insurance, you simply don't have to have these rates in here. You can put in the dollar amounts. I understand as a former originator myself, all loans are different. Make the system work what's best for you. So by choosing your products, choosing your fee templates, George Mason has went through the length to turn on a turnkey system for you. But of course, you can edit this and make this system work as you wish. So that'd be your taxes and insurance as a monthly cost. And then, of course, you have your fee templates if you're adding the escrows in there. So this is easy to work through just based off what you're wanting to show and present to the client. Okay, just as we wrap up here, a few reminders. If you're in the system and you need help, you can click on the help button. This takes you to our support center. Okay, you type in what you're looking for here, how to create a presentation, how to create a 5-1 arm, how to create a 7-1 arm, how to use Edge Live. I remember they showed me on the call how to use a mobile experience. We have a knowledge base of here. This is a wealth of information in here. If you need more assistance, you can email support@mortgagecoach.com, email myself, Teddy, at mortgagecoach.com. All the questions we did not get to answer today, we'll get to them as soon as this call's over. We'll shoot you out an email. We'll get on training next week. That's next Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to show some more strategies. And we're also going to have a makeup course for those of you who missed the call, how to jump off early. This call's been recorded, but we're going to recap next Wednesday as well. That's also 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to thank you all for being on the call. Have a great day, and I'm looking forward to you sending me some presentations. Create 5 of them. By next week, we should be somewhere between 10 and 15 presentations completed. And we should all be learning the Edge experience so we can get onto some advanced features as well. Take care, guys.
Take care, everybody. Thank you.